Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'll be talking about NIO and what I think about this company and the stock. Now, I'm kind of lazy and I've done a fair share amount of research. I won't be going into things such as balance sheets, their debt, their cash flow, their future expected growth. While these things can be easily obtainable if you look for the information online, I believe a lot of it's on their website anyway and their investor relation page. But I'll just be talking about what I think about NIO overall and why I invested in NIO. Now, I don't care if you watch this video and you think like, fuck that, I am not, I ain't throwing money into NIO. Because it's gonna go up regardless, and you might think like, oh, well, what the fuck? Why would it go up? Well, there's a lot of things that I could go into, but I'm just gonna focus on a lot of the fundamental reasons I believe it's going to go up in price, and I will explain that yes, I am bullish on NIO, and I'll also explain why. So, to begin with, this is unrehearsed. Again, I don't give a shit if you invest in NIO or not. Personally, I just think that it's a pretty good investment. Would I buy in the sevens? It's a good question. Okay, I think if I were to create a long-term position, I would. But if let's just say, for example, I had $10,000 and I was going to use this towards my speculative plays. Well, I would buy NIO gradually. I'd buy portions here and there. Like I would throw a couple thousand here. I would call like every time there's a pullback, I would throw in $1,000, because the thing is that what I would do is that you would have to consider that the overall market heavily dictates how NIO acts. So if, for example, the stock market crashes again, which I don't know because of all this quantitative easing and all this stimulus and all this money being thrown at people by the government, I don't really know if that's going to happen. While the dollar might lose value, I don't know for sure if stocks will necessarily go down in value. And well, they'll go down in value. Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah. Do I think NIO will ever see what we saw back in March? Probably not. There's been a lot of great news since then. One of the biggest things was the securing of funding from the Jefe government. Another thing was, I believe that there was another cash infusion recently of around 70 million shares or so, and it was all around 585 or 595. The specifics don't really matter because I'm not going to be going into that. I don't have everything in front of me to do that, and I don't follow NIO as much as I used to. But yeah, anyway, so basically there was a time when NIO was going through much financial hardships, and that was probably one of the best times to buy for a speculative play. But as more securing came, it became less speculative, and there was a lot of future potential that showed investors that, hey, this is not as risky as it was a couple months ago. So would I buy in the sevens? I would buy slowly. I would also watch the overall market to see how it reacts, and then see how investors in NIO react towards that. Again, there's been a lot of great news, so even if a market crash did occur, it probably wouldn't be as bad. Okay. What else do I want to touch upon? Let's see. Why did I invest in NIO in the first place? NIO is a good company in my opinion. At first I was investing in Tesla, and I bought Tesla in the 170s, 180s, and 190s, and I saw Tesla as a great opportunity because I understood that, well, I lived in some of the wealthiest parts of America, not because I in particular was rich, but my family is, and I had that opportunity to go live with them, and these people would flex their Teslas. Like, these people don't really give a shit about the environment, but they would flex their Teslas, and I see people around me flexing their Teslas, and I have a lot of family members who flex Teslas and flex electric vehicles and think they're really cool and edgy. And well, I figured to myself, yeah, okay, I can see that with the way things are progressing economically and politically and socially, we can see that people are going to transition more into renewable energies and sustainability, right? Because even our colleges are a little bit more left-leaning and progressive, I guess. I mean, I don't really care about politics too much. I wouldn't say I'm one or the other, so I don't give a fuck what you think, to be honest. But yeah, so I just noticed that people are really into like this electric vehicles and whatnot. And there's like the hydraulics, right? Hydrogen cars before, but yeah, it definitely shows around me that it was trending. Even 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I saw people flexing their Teslas. It was a really cool vehicle to have. So the concept of an electric vehicle being the smart, innovative, and environmentally friendly thing, while also being very shows a good amount of wealth, attracted me to Tesla. So I invested in it. None of the bearish news mattered to me. I would read these articles. I'd be like, wow, these guys are. I'd read these articles and be like, well, okay, these guys are trying to. There's obviously an agenda behind it. You can clearly see it. So yeah, I just threw money into Tesla. It worked out well. I sold a lot of these shares when they went around 900, and I kept a little bit around half, just because I knew Tesla had a chance of going up even further, because I did more research into Elon Musk. And then, while I was investing in Tesla, I also invested in NIO, because I was doing more research on electric vehicles, because I already had a general consensus, or I had a general understanding of electric vehicles, and I figured, yeah, this is probably going to be the new trendy thing that everyone is going to go into. I mean, even around me, like if I go to the store or the gym, I see people driving around their Tesla, and they're not young millennials, they're older people with cash and wealth, and they want to flex their wealth while also being cool and trendy and environmentally conscious, I guess. Because let's be honest, the real environmentally conscious people aren't driving around a Tesla. They're driving around these Nissan Leafs, like my family, or they're driving around these other cheap, affordable electric vehicles that are much cheaper and much more efficient. But with that being said, I knew Tesla was going to be a great product at this moment, and it worked out great. So around that time, I also bought into NIO around the $1 range, and I looked at NIO and I saw a lot of similarities. I saw that William Li was a very credible CEO. He'd also started a business himself, and it's also on the stock exchange that he sold off. And the credibility of William Li, it's not as, he isn't well known as Elon Musk, but he had enough for me to buy in the dollars. Not only that though, but their NIO houses showed to me that there was a lot of investment into this company and to this guy's dreams. I also realized too that the vehicles themselves were high quality. I like the way they're manufactured. They seem like they're another luxury brand similar to Tesla. And sorry, COVID. And I realized that this is probably going to be another thing because of a couple of reasons. One, I believe that NIO provides great quality cars just like Tesla, but NIO also offers a bunch of different services as well, which Tesla doesn't do. And that's nothing against Tesla, but if I was a guy in China and I ran a business, or if I'm a busy person myself right now, if I had that, I would definitely use NIO's accommodations. And those NIO houses, the cash burn with those things are pretty crazy, but if it works out, and it's gonna be great. If it doesn't, well, it's a big flop, and they're gonna have to sell off those houses and stuff. But yeah, I thought the whole concept of NIO was amazing, and it really is a great concept, and it's a really good service as well. And they provide really great products and services, and that's definitely something I saw worth investing into at the dollars. It definitely did. And it worked out well. Now that they're currently around the $7 range, Do I think they're gonna go up personally? Yeah, probably, because there's a lot of stupid ass kids making with tons of money, making more money than ever off unemployment and these stim checks, and they're probably just gonna pour it into these cheap stocks, and they're gonna be trading it like crazy. So yeah, do I think NIO's gonna go up? Yeah, I do. I do think it's gonna go up, and a lot of first-time investors who can't invest into Tesla are gonna invest into NIO. Wow, I probably should have wrote some like talking points down, because I actually do have a pretty good case for NIO, but whatever. I really don't care. Like, I don't care if you invested it or not, because I know it's gonna go up anyway. Like, the only thing that would probably make NIO go down is if the market crashes overall, or electric vehicle sales drop. And well, if I lose it, then whatever. I guess it's just a speculative play. What else could I bring up? What else maybe you want to invest into NIO? Yeah, I guess it's just a great company overall. They do offer great products and services. The cars look amazing. You know, if NIO came to America and I had a choice between a Tesla and a NIO, well, I'd buy the NIO. And it's not because I favor one over the other, but it's just because, let's be honest, if both vehicles were made to be environmentally friendly, or friendlier than these ICE vehicles, well, I'm probably going to get more notoriety and attraction if I drive a NIO around, because they're a little bit more exclusive, they're a little bit less known in America, but they're still these very beautiful cars. You know, they're these very beautiful vehicles. No one knows about it, and I'm gonna get a lot of attention, so I can flex wealth, and I can get attention from people, right? And that's why people buy all these stupid ass cars to begin with, right? Because they just want attention, right? Because again, if you really care about the environment, you're not gonna drive around a Tesla. You're not gonna drive around a NIO. You're gonna drive around a Nissan Leaf, or something more affordable and a little bit more environmentally friendlier, right? Or a Prius or something, because these electric vehicles have been around for years. But again, people buy these luxury brands because they want to flex wealth or flex whatever they got. So, and they also do. They probably do feel better than riding a Leaf around. So, I'm not bashing the Leaf either. I think it's a great concept as well. I'm just saying that, you know, the people with money who want to flex their wealth and show their wealth are definitely gonna be driving around their NIO eagerly. And yeah, I do believe NIO has a great spot at being one of the top contenders for electric vehicles, especially in China. Because if you look at the way China is, the infrastructure of China and how they set it up, all these NIO houses and all these NIO mansions or whatever, they're really beautiful. And they set up a lifestyle, and I can already tell by just looking at it. You know, if I were a businessman of some sort, or if I were someone who I would definitely buy the NIO brand. I would definitely probably accommodate NIO personally to my life. Like, if my area in America had the NIO accommodations, like, I would be definitely using that. Okay. I would be paying for the products and services, and it just seems like a really good deal overall. So I personally think that with the government backing, I personally believe that NIO is probably gonna be one of the most, if not the most prominent electric vehicle company in China. And there's gonna be a lot, you know. There's definitely going to be a lot of competition, but NIO has everything it needs to succeed, which is the difference. Because while there are other electric vehicle companies that are producing very beautiful vehicles, NIO is ahead of the game, and I believe that Tesla pretty much carved the path for NIO to succeed. And I think Tesla's going to do very well, because, you know, if you look around you see Teslas everywhere. I believe as NIO catches on and people start understanding that this is a luxury brand that flexes your wealth, while also providing a great customer service and also doing great for the environment, NIO's going to do well. It just needs time. I kind of lazily did this because I'm driving, but maybe maybe one day I'll sit down and I'll do an analysis on the finances of NIO, their balance sheets, their debt. Maybe I'll actually write things down to say prior, and I'll give a better explanation on a bullish case for NIO. I am a person who has a position going long, and then I also do have another portfolio where I trade NIO. So I've been more right than wrong when I've traded NIO. That's where I do more technical analysis on NIO with a little bit of fundamental analysis. But yeah, I don't know. This is kind of lazily made. I'm just kind of tired of talking about how much essential employees are being screwed over during this global pandemic. So I decided to make a video about NIO. But yeah, I definitely will talk more about Tesla as well, and I will definitely talk more about NIO. And yeah, maybe I'll put more effort into it. Yeah, essential employees are getting screwed over. So thank your essential employees as you play Final Fantasy 7 at home and eat your Snickers bar. Have a good day, everybody.